Hello everybody in the land of the internet, Jason Rivers here, and welcome to this unboxing of the Yu-Gi-Oh! TCG 5D starter deck from 2009. As I've said before, I picked this up from Chaos Cards, so links in the description, but we shall go straight into this and get it open. I keep forgetting that it's tied by some kind of tape. I should really take that off first. But it'll be alright. Okay, and so you get the rulebook. I believe this playmat is going to be the same. Yep, the non-special playmat. The rulebook and of course the deck. So I will pop these cards into the sleeves and we shall have a look through them. Okay, so now that the cards are in their sleeves, let's have a look at them. For our holo cards, we have a ultra rare Road Warrior. Requires 1 Road Synchron and 2 or more non-tuner monsters. Once per turn you can special summon 1 level 2 or lower warrior monster or machine monster from your deck. A super rare Saber Beetle, 1 tuner and 1 or more non-tuner monsters. When this card inflicts battle damage to your opponent, if your opponent has 4 or more cards in their hand, place 1 random card from their hand to the top of their deck. And a super rare Road Synchron. If this card is used for a synchro summon of a monster other than Road Warrior, its level is reduced by 2. If this card attacks, at the end of the damage step increase its level by 1 until the end phase. And we get a common Junk Warrior as well. I went over that in the previous video, so just go and check that out. And for the normal monsters, we have Go, Giga, Gaga, Gigo. I think I pronounced that right. It's a ridiculous name, to be honest. Sabersaurus, Cybertech Alligator, Saber Anu Piranha, the Dragon Dwelling in the Cave, and that's it for the normal monsters. For the effect monsters, we have Powered Tuner. This card gains 500 attack for each face-up tuner monster on the field. Goblin Attack Force. If this card attacks, it's changed to defense position. At the end of the battle phase, this card's battle position cannot be changed until the end of your next turn, unless done by an effect or some kind of magic card. Penguin Soldier, flip effect, you can return 2 monster cards from the field to the owner's hand. Sasuke Samurai, if this card attacks a face down defense position monster, destroy it immediately without applying any other battles or damage effects or anything like that. Desk Koala, flip effect, inflict 400 damage to your opponent for each card in their hand. Saber Beetle. This one is a long-winded effect, but it's basically saying that you can do piercing damage to any defense position monster. Quillbolt Hedgehog. If you control a face-up tuner monster, you can special summon this card from your graveyard. If this card was summoned this way, remove it from play when it was removed from the field. But if you're going to do it this way, it's obvious that you're using it for a synchro summon. Junk Synchron. When this card is normal summoned, you can special summon 1 level 2 or lower monster from your graveyard in face-up defense position, and then the effect is negated, but again, you'll be using it for synchro summons. Speed Warrior. During the battle phase of the turn you summon this card, you can double its original attack. Skelengel. Flip effect, draw 1 card. Sonic Chick. This card cannot be destroyed by a monster who has an attack of 1900 or more. Magna Drago. Each time this card inflicts battle damage to your opponent, it gains 200 attack. Saber Beetle. When this card inflicts battle damage to your opponent by a direct attack, discard 1 random card from your opponent's hand. Saber Galahad. If this card attacks an opponent's monster, this card gains 300 attack during the damage step. If this card is attacked by an opponent's monster, it loses 500 attack during the damage step only. When this card is selected as a attack target, you contribute another monster to negate the attack. And that's it for the monsters. For spells, we have Pride of the Weak. When a level 2 or lower monster you control destroys an opponent's monster by battle and sends it to the graveyard, if you have no cards in your hand, then you can draw 2 cards. Rush Recklessly. The targeted monster gains 700 attack until the end turn. Giant Trunade. Return all spell and trap cards on the field to the owner's hand. Tribute to the Doom. Discard 1 card to destroy 1 monster on the field. Warrior Returning Alive. Add 1 warrior monster from your graveyard to your hand. Emergency Provisions. Send any number of spell and trap cards that you control to the graveyard and gain 1000 life points for each card sent. Creature Swap. Each player selects 1 monster they control and switches control of those monsters with each other. Those monsters cannot change their battle positions for the rest of the turn, so this is good for swapping one of your weaker monsters for a strong monster if you're having 1 monster each on the field. Twister. Pay 500 life points to destroy 1 face-up spell or trap card. Desynchro. Select 1 face-up synchro monster, return it to the owner's extra deck, then all of the monsters were used. So it's basically just putting your synchro monster back in the extra deck and summoning all the monsters that you used to summon it back to the field. It's kind of like it's defusion. It's basically defusion, but for synchro monsters. Unstable Evolution. While your life points are lower than your opponent's, the equipped monster's original attack becomes 2,400. While your life points are higher than your opponent's, its original attack becomes 1,000. I think this card's pretty useless, to be honest. Ukazi. Inflict 800 damage to your opponent. And Synchro Boost. The equipped monster gains 500 attack and its level is increased by 1. And finally, for the trap cards, we have Gotham's Emergency Call, or Gotham, however you want to pronounce it. Activate only if there is a face-up X-Saber monster on the field. Select 2 X-Saber monsters in either player's graveyard and special summon those monsters to your side of the field. Dust Tornado. Destroy 1 spell or trap card that your opponent controls and then set 1 from your hand. Magic Drain. Negate the activation of an opponent's spell card and destroy it. Your opponent can discard 1 spell card to negate this card's effect. Raigeki Break. Discard 1 card to destroy 1 card on the field. Limit Reverse. Select 1 monster with 1000 or less attack from your graveyard and special summon it in attack position. If that monster is changed to defense position, then destroy this card, and then when it's removed, this card also gets removed. Scrap Iron Scarecrow. Activate when an opponent's monster declares an attack and negate the attack, and then set this card face back down instead of destroying it. Miniaturize. Select 1 monster with 1000 or more attack. It loses 1000 attack and its level is reduced by 1. So this card is good for when you want to, like, you know, balance out the levels for when you do your synchro summons. And finally, we have Widespread Ruin. Activate only when an opponent's monster declares an attack. Destroy 1 attack position monster your opponent controls with the highest attack, and if it's a tie, then you get to choose. And that is the entire deck. I would say it's okay. It's not amazing, but it's pretty good. I'd like to see how the Road Warrior plays out, actually, and stuff like that. But I don't think it's great, to be honest, but it's alright. It's not the best of decks. But yeah, that was the video. I hope you enjoyed it. Please like this video, comment down below, subscribe for future content, and I shall see you all in the next video, which will be the opening of the 2010 starter deck, the Duelist's Toolbox.